TCC is a full-service technology advisory services organization, and really our core focus is on Verizon specifically. So wrapping some managed services, implementation services, project management, and field services around what Verizon does really well. So that's the core focus of the business.
The great value add that TCC brings is we have an army of field technicians that we can access to help support Verizon customers in the site readiness stages of any potential project. So if a customer has a site or multiple sites where they're not sure what their infrastructure situation looks like before an order is placed, we do have the ability to roll a truck to that location and help them get a pair of smart hands on site that can take pictures, assess what's going on, and know that they are prepared for the delivery of a new Verizon solution into that location. And then once the order is placed and we get down the road a little way with action items, the awesome thing is we can continue to use those services to help mitigate any issues that do arise from an infrastructure perspective during the implementation of that service. So if there are conduit issues, DMARC extension issues, any server room readiness type things that come up all the time with UCR forms in the Verizon implementation process, we're able to help the customer mitigate those issues without incurring a bunch of costs and obviously the pain and just mental anguish of dealing with that.
Hey, Simeon, you brought up a great point. One of the things I wanted to ask you, this is great. I love it. Let's say if a customer doesn't have an idea what they currently have, you will be able to do what I would call a pre-site survey to be able to alleviate and let the customer know exactly what they have. This will offset, because I've been doing this for a long time. And one of my wish, there's a lot of things I would wish, but if I was able to place an order and have an idea what the survey results, that would save a lot of headaches, expectations with the customer. So I just wanted to bring that up to you too.
When we know that we're very close to moving forward with a customer, that's when we can really kind of grease those skids, so to speak, and get things going so that we don't run into UCR issues, or at least they're not surprises and we're already mitigating them before it's time to turn up a circuit.
The next thing I wanted to bring up to you is, if a location comes back when a UCR, what will be the process? Will you be able to help the partner find a third party? You will do it yourself? I just want to make sure that we have a clear understanding what will happen.
We would take that on ourselves, right? So we would get the UCR form back from Verizon, and then we take that back. We put in an order with our resource coordinator, who then dispatches a technician. We can do same day, we can do next day, we can schedule it out a week, 2 weeks, whatever's best for the customer. We'll go on site and take care of those UCRs. So anything that I would call it common sense DMARC work, right? Anything inside the building. So we're not talking about SCON, special construction. We do have the ability to do some of that, but not included in the program at little to no cost, which is the goal here, is to be able to provide these services to the end customer as close to free as possible. And the customer's happy because their service gets in a timely fashion. And also they feel like, wow, we've got this safety net in TCC that's coming out and making sure if something does come up, they've got us covered. So everybody wins in this scenario, right? The customer doesn't feel like there was a bait and switch of, hey, I signed this order for 100 locations and now I've got to pay for 50 UCRs. They feel very happy, right? It gives them the warm and fuzzies and just helps with that implementation timeframe as well.
Is there a limitation on where the location is, so you could pretty much cover the whole U.S.? Or maybe if you could touch, maybe this international is not that often, but I just want to know, are you capable to cover all these different locations, especially within the U.S., Yeah,
we've got 2,500 techs in our stable. That being said, if we have to, right, let's say it's in the middle of nowhere, out in the cornfield somewhere, right? And we do have customers that have locations like that are hard to hit. We can, reach out to our trusted partners. I don't like to use the word sub because we vet those trusted partners extensively, and they have to meet all of our requirements to be leveraged for any type of service or solution that we deliver to a Verizon customer. So I haven't seen any locations that we haven't been able to hit.
What I love about this relationship with you guys is that you are part of the sales team, and you're also able to bring out additional services that Verizon cannot bring on, but bring it on in front of the customer and be as one. So thank you, guys. I think this is a humongous value, especially with the pre-site surveys, helping us with UCRs, which are very challenged, which, like you said, first, it delays the timelines. The other thing is we get upset customers because, there's additional costs we didn't know about. And the third thing, which is the one that they get most upset, is I don't know who to get, right? So you have addressed all those three. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, and the goal, Manny, is really, on
What,
both ends of the sales cycle to help the direct teams close deals faster, right? Because there are frequently customers who go, "Hey, I love Verizon, I love the solution, I'm happy with the price, but I've got a hesitation because I don't have enough folks to help manage this project, and I don't have a technical person at each of my locations, and so I'm not sure I want to do this right now." Also, the last time I did this, I had a big bill. I had to go spend a bunch of money on cabling. So we can knock those objections down on the front end to help speed up that sales cycle and close deals faster. And then obviously, the hardest part is then getting it installed, right? I spent a long time as a Verizon managing client partner back in the day, and we've done this now for a long time. And we know that the hardest part is you win the deal, and then life gets really hard.
what is your approach from your team? I know you have a great team of project management. Is let's say we work in even one location is fine, but when we talk about multiple locations, 10, 20, whatever number it is, maybe with SD-WAN, more complex solutions directly with Verizon. Can you just give us an example? What is it that you do?
I would consider it more program management than project management, right? When you think about project management, they typically disappear. A PM disappears once it's installed. So our PM team actually stays assigned to the account for the life of the service. So they can help take a lot of that busy work off the client executive's table, for small things, moves, adds, and changes, billing questions, trouble ticket escalation. So it's a full service PM solution for the life of that service. So when we talk to a customer, we say, what are some of your hesitations? What are some of the things that internally you would have to do or people you would have to assign to make this a successful project? And let us know what those tasks are that individual or those individuals have to take on. If any of those are things that our PM team can take on and it's within reason, we'll do that. So it's truly an extension from a customer perspective, but also the Verizon account team perspective.
So the main goal that you guys have to set expectations, good or bad news, right? But to be in front of the customer, set expectations, set timelines. And we understand, like everything in life, right? As long as you get updated, maybe it's not the best news that you could have, but as long as you deliver, I think that will make a big difference, keeping a customer happy, because that's, I think, one of the shortcomings that customers could tell is, I don't get updates, and they get frustrated on that. So thank you. I think that's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Manny, it's a huge differentiator too, right? Because other carriers out there, other suppliers like Verizon have the same kinds of challenges, right? But Verizon is a unique ecosystem. I think everybody that's ever worked there knows that. And the reality is that Verizon is our exclusive partner. When they hear that there is this additional value add from TCC that they're not going to get from AT&T, Lumen, or pick your poison down the stack, right? They're only getting that with TCC and Verizon. This, the project management piece, and then the ability to roll trucks to resolve issues that come up during the implementation. That's a huge differentiator. As long as we're even close in an apples to apples comparison with the solution that we're putting in front of them, there's no reason for a customer to choose a different carrier when we're a part of the project.
Simi, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's a layer to my next questions I was going to ask you, right?
I'll let Jim speak to it, but we've both spent a ton of time in this industry, right? And so we're very familiar with all of the players and the challenges that exist there that we can exploit as again, as a Verizon exclusive partner. We're able to exploit some of those weaknesses. I'll let Jim kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point, Manny. So one of the things that we do, it's not just post-sale, right? It's not just the project management, the field services. We do have a team of engineering experts that will jump on a call. We understand that a lot of teams out here, the engineers are stretched pretty thin, right? So we want to be involved in the sales process with you to help you win as well. So from a technology perspective, a design perspective, an engineering perspective, we're here to help and help you guys really push those over the finish line. And to your point, we do understand all the different technologies out there. SD-WAN is a great example, right? There's probably 30 different underlying SD-WAN technologies. And I take it upon myself to understand the ins and outs of all those technologies, to know what we're competing against, to be able to say to a customer, hey, I'm very familiar with this other technology that you're evaluating. Here's the difference between that and Versa, or here's the difference between that and the Meraki solution that we're recommending through Verizon. So it really helps the customer understand that we've got that deep technical expertise across the entire landscape to help them understand that they're making, the best possible decision for the solution.
Exactly. I love that, because again, it's sort of like the same thing as the UCR. Okay, here's the UCR, go ahead and find it, come back, right? But in this scenario, the main question is, they'll want to know about a competition, what they could offer, and you could be a neutral party and just not necessarily coach them, but tell them about the differences that we have, which would be a big win for us to help us improve our services.